Hello guys, welcome to the second tutorial or third tutorial of this series. And what I'll be doing here in this one is I will show you how to register and log in, like sign up and sign in, and also maybe display the users all that I have registered, right? So at the same time, previously obviously we were copying a lot of code from like my GitHub and in terms of layout, right? So obviously if you will run the app, then it will crash because there there are few changes that you have to do. For example, if you are in the setting file, right, and here if you will see, then the first line here for the type has to be your package name, right? So if you are developing an app like that, so obviously the code, if we copy paste, it never works, right? We have to do some tweaks. So what I want you to do is that whenever like you copy something from my projects, and particularly talking about this one, then you can go here and replace this with your package name. And also if you have created a like another package mvvm, then obviously it has to correspond to that, because if it's not here, if I delete this, then obviously here this will show an error, right? Because it's not there. So what you have to do is, okay, now it's gone. So yeah, so what you have to do is that you have to make sure that all the layouts have their corresponding files, even though they are empty, right? Because here I'm using data binding, and yeah, so for example this name variable. So now obviously if you have not created these files here, then how will it correspond to the layout, right? And the app will crash anyway. So these are like some of the variable that you can declare in the view models, okay, these three. And also in your like um, setting fragment, and I think some other fragments, you have to uh, like add these things. So I think let me just check one by one, where did I make a change. If I'm using data binding somewhere, then it would get easier for you guys. Okay, there is nothing. Yeah, here also in fragment chat, you have to like make sure that your package name is correct. And here also you will see that in terms of using data binding, we have this variable called message, right? So this has to be in the view model class, it has to be declared there. So just like I had shown you earlier, it's here, right? So obviously if this is not here, then the app will not run anyway, because obviously this comes at a later stage when we are like actually working on the chat activity. But since I have copy pasted the layout, so I have to declare some things beforehand. Also at the same time, uh, come in the Gradle properties and enable the Jedifier, because I think I'm using the older version of class path dependencies in the project module of Gradle file. So I think you have to declare this, and I think with that your app will run. I'm sure there will be nothing, but it will run. So yeah, so what we have to do is, I'll just close this to make it a little bit cleaner. Okay, and if I run my app, then I would be directed to the sign in or sign up activity, and over there we have to apply the logic and work with the buttons. So our first activity is going to be sign in activity, right? Because in the manifest we have already declared that this is the activity that we want to appear whenever the app launches. So here what I'll do is, I'll just take some variables that, okay, um, go to sign up activity, and this is a text view, so I'm just going to do it. Okay, yes, and I'm going to take some of the variables here to store also the whatever the user has entered in the edit texts. So yeah, I'm going to take private let init okay email type string, private let init password type string, let init var private let init Firebase authentication, and private let init var progress dialog sign in progress dialog. Okay, so this is decrypted and we have to deprecate it, so we have to override it. And if you just bring your cursor on top of it, then you can just click that. Okay, so this is good. Now we have to obviously do the find view by ID, so go to sign up activity, okay, let's just maybe do the data binding here. Okay, sign in, yeah, data binding is enabled here because these layout tags are here, so that means we can just go in here and also take this private let init sign in binding activity sign in binding. I'll just remove this, and what I'll do is sign in binding data binding util set content view this r layout activity sign in. Okay, there we go. So now here we can simply do it like this, sign in. Go to set on click listener. Okay, what's this? Sign in activity, what is that? Okay, text view, create a new account. Yeah, create a new account, sign in text to, that's the ID. Yeah, we can just remove this one because we don't need this. Okay, set on click listener. Okay, start intent, and here what we are going to do is we have to add the activity that where we want to go, so that is going to be sign up activity class.java, and we can import this. So obviously when like I was doing this, I had run the app and this is what the layout looks like, because after you do some tweaks and customize the project according to your like new project, such as I had told you in the start, that replace the names of the package names and declare some variables, then you should be seeing this. Okay, so now what we are doing is that once we click on this, then we can move to the sign up activity, and this is what I have done here. So we'll just run the app. And while the app is being like uh, running, uh, what we can do is I think we can write some more code. So for example, here we can come in here and initialize few things. So for auth, it's going to be Firebase auth get instance. Yeah, so here what I just like wanted to show you is that, okay, if we click on create new account, then we are here, right? And then like obviously we will work on this. So we can just click on the back button and that's working. So here we are, and I'll just write if user has logged in, because user only has to log in once, right? User has to log in only once, because every time you launch the app, you shouldn't be like entering like your user like and password, right? So if auth current user is not null, then we want the main activity to start. So I'll just simply, and we will come to that later, but I think I'm making sense, right? That if you have logged in one time, then you don't have to do it again and again, and then if you have logged in, then sign in activity should not appear again, right? Until and unless you log out. So with that done, we can come here and also initialize our progress dialog. Okay, and I think now we should work on our, okay, let's work here more. Okay, the sign in binding, it will have a button, login button, set on click listener. Okay, so email is going to sign in binding, and yes, from email it is going to, the email text view, it is going to store whatever is written in this, and for password binding login et. Okay, sign, oh, I have declared it wrong, so anyways we'll just use this login et password text dot. So whatever we have entered in our edit text will get stored in this variable. So I'm explaining one by one. Okay, and also we will perform some check. If email is empty, if we can just take this, is empty, toast message, because We don't want like if there is nothing written and somebody hits login and we are logged in, we have to perform some security check, right? That okay, if it's empty then show something, enter email, or email can't be empty, and then like we'll just add the toast here, length short, show. We'll just do the same for login, et password, password can't be empty. We will do something here also, or okay, is not empty, and is not empty. If email is not empty and password is not empty, then what to do? Then trigger this method of sign in. So sign in is going to be with the password and email, and we can create this method here, or function. In Kotlin we say function. Okay, this is here. Okay, so whenever like user is hitting the sign in, then a progress dialog needs to appear. Sign in, progress dialog, sign in, show. The message has to be signing in. Okay, now authentication. I'm doing this beforehand. Obviously we have to register the user first. Sign in with email and password. So email will come here, password will come here. Add on complete listener. Here it's going to be if task, or not task because here is this word it. If it is successful, then what needs to do is dismiss the progress dialog, dismiss, and start the activity. Which activity? We want the main activity to be started, right? So I'm just going to simply get the code from here. Okay, if the user password is obviously incorrect, then what do we want? We still want the progress dialog to disappear and the toast message has to appear. Invalid credentials. So these are the security checks that we have performed. Also we can add failure, like on failure listener, so that we also have to do. It's a good practice. I'm going to rename this. So whenever there is an exception, is Firebase auth invalid credential exception, say invalid credentials, else if there are any other exceptions, then other reasons, maybe internet error or something, then auth failed. Okay, so whenever we back press, now we are done with our signing up work. If we back press from this, so we want the progress dialog to dismiss, and also we want this activity to be finished. And whenever we kill the app, then also we want to on destroy. We want the progress dialog to be dismissed. Okay, now here I have to add this annotation. Okay, this is it for the sign in part, right? Now we'll just simply come to our sign up activity. Here also we have taken the data binding approach, so we'll just close this, close this, close this. And by the end of this tutorial, hopefully we will be able to sign up some users. Okay, yeah, here. Okay, so let's just do let init binding. Oh no, sign up binding. Activity sign up binding private let init var firestore Firebase Firestore. Oh wow. Okay, private let init var sign up auth Firebase auth, and again here we will take some the variables like private let init name, it's going to take string private. Yeah, here we'll just, it's going to take email and password. Okay, and also we will take one sign up PD progress dialog. It will look fancy, so we'll just add this decryption. I'm doing this like real slow, so don't worry about the time limit of the tutorial, because as long as we wanna we don't wanna rush things, so we can take it slowly. Okay, again I'll just go to my sign in activity and copy paste some of the code because we need this. Okay, so we can just come here and put here activity sign up, and obviously this has to be replaced, so we are good. Okay, we will initialize these things: firestore Firebase firestore get instance sign up auth Firebase. Okay, that's great. And also initialize the progress dialog. Great. Now what we have to do is, first of all, sign up binding. Okay, sign up text to, okay, if we click on this text, let me show you. So let's say if the user clicks here, then it should take him back to the sign up, right? Sign in, right? So first of all, taking care of that functionality, so we'll just go and take this code and put it here. But now it's going to be sign in activity. Okay, we are done. Okay, so now what we have to do is excuse me. So if whenever like a user clicks on the sign up button, then again what we will do is we will check if the name is not empty, if the email is not empty, if the password is not empty, right? Because these are the checks that we have to perform. So I'll just come here, name, we are going to sign up binding. Oh wow, et name, text to string, and obviously here is going to be email. Password, sign up email, sign up password. Okay, we have got this, and now we will individually apply these things. That okay, if is empty, what to do. It's not empty, et name is not empty, et. Okay, yeah, let's just replace them first. Okay, now we're checking if the email is empty, and here we can check if the password is empty, and here we can simply, the lastly we are checking if nothing is empty. Okay, if the name is not empty, email is not empty, and lastly password is not empty, and password, if all of these conditions are true, then sign up user with what? With name, email, password. Okay, this is great. So here what we will do, we will just add simple like toast messages that okay, name can't be empty, password can't be empty, email can't be empty. Okay, that's great. So we have created this. Now again what we will do is we will get our, whenever sign up PD, like whenever like user clicks on the sign up button, then the progress dialog needs to appear. Set message, signing up. Okay, okay, so we have written this so far that okay, sign up, like the loading like animation or progress dialog needs to have this like written. Now we will just call our sign up authentication. Okay, and here we will do sign up create user, actually create user with email and password, and here we will just add on complete listener. If it is successful, we will store the current user, and here we are using hash map. So user ID, it's going to be user dot whoever is signed up. We are storing that person's ID into the Firestore. Okay, username, whoever the user is, to name, obviously we are getting this from here. Okay, user email we are going to get from whatever the user has entered. Okay, status is going to be default for now, so no need to worry about it. This is just a placeholder and we will deal with it later. Obviously image is also going to be a placeholder for now. If I wanted, I can add the image from here also, but it will just take a lot of time because implementing image is like really a long work. Okay, so this is done. Yes, so what we will do is we'll come here, Firestore collection users, user dot user ID, set hash map, and from here on we'll just sign up PD dismiss. So if user has successfully registered, no need to log in, take me to the login screen again, and then I will log in by myself. So with this, I think we are done for this tutorial, and I will run the app and see what happens. And if I can also open the Firebase here, so yeah, app is loading for now. We will come here and see if okay, so our app has, I believe, launched. Okay, so we will go to create new account. We'll just type name Sam at gmail.com. If I click on sign up, because I have not entered the password, so it should show me some error. See, it is not like moving forward, and on emulator I think it is sometime it does not show the toast message, so no need to worry, because that means our security system is working right. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. I'll just click on this sign up, and this is showing the beautiful dialog. And once this is done, the app has launched, but I think uh, there is some mistake here. The app shouldn't go here. Yeah, because from here we have written this code, sign in activity. That is why it took me to this screen. So what I'll just do is I'll keep this here. Maybe I'll just remove this for now, because this is just redirecting the user, and I was the one who wrote this code that if user is not null, then no other activity should open but the main activity. So I'll just go back on here and maybe just restart it. And meanwhile, if we check our Firestore, if we refresh it, then obviously our user has been created successfully. So if I can, like, once this loads, I can show you. You see, this collection is generated. It has a document ID, and this is our information that we have taken from the user when the user was registering. And also again, if we check in authentication, then this user is authenticated and it has the information here, right? So if I can go here and see, I'll register another user, elon@gmail.com, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, clicking up on sign up. Okay, now it is taking me back to the login screen, right? This is what this was like purposely intended. Now if I can just type sam@gmail.com, 1 2 oh, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. If I click on login, then signing in, it should take me to the main activity. So we are on the main activity, right? Obviously here is nothing, so we don't see anything, but this is working, right? This was what we had intended. So yeah, that's it for this tutorial. In the next tutorial we will work on displaying all the users here and everything. Okay, see you in the next one.